Okay, you got a lot done. As you can see, the cab is on and got the roof all on there and back together. I glued down the roof to the drip edge there and bonded all this front part, filled that in with metal and got it all right, and got the bumper on here. I made some brackets that go up in here. Like the original ones, they go from the braces over there up bolt to the front here and then zigzag back to the front there. And got the steering column in and the steering all hooked up, and gotta do the emergency brake cable still. Got the shifter all in there and put together, and the radiator, made some hoses for that. I used this tubing is stainless from a vacuum handle, and I bead rolled the ends and used some hose sections, and that all looks good. And got a bunch of this painted. It's gray. It's just Rust-Oleum. And these boards here, the Luan plywood paneling, that's for the, so I have something to glue the headliner to, the rug. So I was gonna do the whole thing with the plywood, but then I saw this front edge is real close here to the roof, so I could just tuck it in there, and it's flexible enough that I should be able to form it around and get it all nice. So working on the gas tank now. I welded it all up and added a layer of epoxy here for just in case it missed some spots. So I'm gonna clean it up soon and paint it more in here and stuff, and the roof on top. So it's coming along. So I'm gonna work on the dashboard some more and get the brake master cylinder mounted. It's supposed to mount here, and so the old one is like single bore or whatever you want to say, and this one's dual. So that's gonna go in there. I gotta make a bracket to mount it because it's the old one mounted side to side. This one mounts like this. So I'll figure that out and figure where the dashboard comes down over it, and then I could see where everything's in the way and mount some cylinders. I'll probably just thread the bottom of this thing and mount it somewhere under there. So that should be better than the original one. And I looked in there anyway, and here it is. See, it mounts side to side. It's only a single bore, and the bore is all pitted and stuff anyway, so I couldn't rebuild that. Alright, and the doors, still didn't work on that one, but this one's ready for paint, and then I'm gonna paint the jamb around, and then I'll mount it, and then I could do the outside. And still didn't put glass in it, but I might take the glass out of that one and put it in this one, and then I'll have that all done. Okay. Okay, so I'm back at it. It's December now. Snowy outside a little bit. I got the tires on. I got these tires for free on an old plow truck, so I went with them, but they're 16, so I had to scrape up 416s. I had them in the shed, they were just all over the place, so luckily I found them. So they look pretty good. They're a little bit bigger than they should be for these narrow wheels, but I think they'll be fine. I got the gas tank on there, and the wood bed screwed down, and working on the paint around the windows here, and I got the glass all made. My buddy did that, and got the door mounted up here. I gotta put the frame in still because I gotta put the glass in it and stuff, but it's all mounted. And started on the wiring a little bit. I got the taillight wiring in there, and the horn and the fog lights and stuff. And I got the interior painted. It's a Rust-Oleum smoke gray. And working on the little toolbox cover here. Got the hinges welded on here. Still gotta paint all that and stuff. This is the latch from the other side. The little latch handle thing that went over there. And so I'm gonna put it on this side. And I mounted this this floorboard in here so I could have something to hook on, because this is an overhang, so it'll just hook on there. And I got all the shifters and everything in there. I think I showed you that already. And kind of put one of the headlights in here. I gotta finish painting this half of the grill. And working on this passenger door still. I had to peel it all apart. So wanted to show you these. So there's the frame for the driver's side. The window felts here that the glass sits in, all the felt was off of it and deteriorated, so I recovered it with new felt. I had used like an old little pair of girls' pants, like velvety, so it was thin, and I glued it on there because that stuff's like 40 bucks for an 8-foot piece. So I just redid it myself. And I got these little fog lights for the front here. Gonna put them on there so it'll give it some color. And yeah, I only have one of the bumperettes here, so I'm not gonna put those on yet, but I made it so the lights are right in between, because the light goes here and the license plate goes here, so I made them right in between, and the bumperettes go there. So if I get the other bumperette, then it'll be nice and even in there. And I haven't carpeted the ceiling yet, but I put some vinyl on the dash here. It's just black vinyl. I stretched it over, so I didn't do under where the dashboard goes there, and I still got to do that side, but that came out good. And I shined up the handle there. And so I'm working on this door. I mounted it up, and this whole end didn't line up good. It was all low, so I started to redo the frame here so that it sits in there better. But then I decided to cut it over here to make it line up better, so I sliced it all the way down except for the top here, and it hinged up, and then now it latches good here, so it's where it's got to be. So now I could get the window frame in there where it's got to go, and weld this all back together and put a new bottom in here and stuff, and then I could fit the skin on it. But all the latches and everything in the window regulator works fine. Yep, so I got the glass. That was good. it's a little bit thicker than what it had originally. It was 1/4 inch, and I told them 1/4 inch, but modern 1/4 inch is a little bit thicker. So the only problem that's gonna give me is with these wing windows. I'll just cut out 1/2 of the seal, the little rubber in here, just both sides. So I'll cut out one side and then just glue it in, and that'll fit alright. So I still gotta put more layers of red on the door and the roof and stuff, but it's getting pretty cold out, so it's kind of giving me trouble. And then I got the e-brake in there. I made the cable for that. It's a fuel line cable and like a garage door cable, so it hooks on, and that all works good. And I got the gas pedal in there. I just welded a nut on the washer on the back side, and so I bolt that on so it's all still removable. And I have a Porsche 914 foot pad that sort of matches the original one, so that's what I'm going to use. Well, close enough. And the passenger door handle was all dented up, and so I peeled that all apart. Now it's not dented. I undented all the stainless and polished it up and stuff, so yeah, that's where I'm at on it now. And so I got all winter to finish it, but slowly getting there. And I'm working on I made a skid plate under here. It's like a barbecue, it was some kind of stainless barbecue thing. So it had original holes up here. I made it bolt in there, and then still gotta attach it to the bottom here on that cross member where the radiator sits on. But I gotta take that out so I could finish the brake lines and the wiring and stuff anyway. So I got the master cylinder here, and I just finished painting up the pedal cluster there, so I'm gonna figure out how to mount all that in there. And pretty soon I'm gonna glue the headliner in there and put the back window in and stuff, so it'll be a little more sealed up. Alright, that's it for now. Alright, I'm working on the door skin here. Got it all patched in along the bottom here. So I got the sides bent, and I'm gonna be making sure it fits the skin here, the frame, and then I could paint the insides and get it welded on there. And I've got the mirror here fitted. I made a plate on the back, and we just made a plate and welded 4 nuts on it and epoxied it to the back here, and made the mirror. I had this bracket, so I just made this arm for it, and a mirror for my 2A, so that'll work. There was another mirror I was going to use, the normal like car style mirror that goes on here, but the way it was sitting, it was too close and it would hit the wing window here when I opened it, so couldn't really use the other mirrors I had. And I made the door panel here. Let me get the light. So it's just a 1/4 inch Luan wood, and I made the vinyl and I pleated it here to match the seats kinda. and use some rug there, same as the headliner. So I had this piece of aluminum trim there, made little brackets to bolt through the loo on, so I got another one for the other side too, so that worked out good. And the door handle things, got them shined up and working. And I had these little escutcheons from the Jeep, probably from a Willys pickup or something, but I used the outer half of it. They're like spring loaded, so I only got 2 of them, so I'm gonna have to make some sort of matching for the other side. And I got the armrests on there, and it's all fitted good and everything, so the window goes up and down nicely. And been working on the wiring too. I got the, well, I started it and drove it around the other day, so that was good, but it was overheating because I didn't have enough water in it, and my temperature gauge wasn't working, and I didn't have the fan on, so hopefully it'll work better now. I got a temporary temperature gauge there, and I ordered some new temperature gauge and a fuel gauge because I looked inside them and they were all burnt up. They use a bimetallic strip that burns up easily. And the new gauges are more modern style, like with regular components, and this is just the old way of doing things, so they're pretty burnt up in there. I don't think you can see it, but alright. And I made some passenger seat brackets there to go on the bottom of the seat. So that works good. And I got the seat belts all rigged up. Got them bolted in through here. I'm just going with lap belts. Bolted it through the back there, so that'll be good. And for the inside and everything, got the choke cable in over there. And still, I had to make another throttle return spring here because the throttle wasn't coming all the way back. There's no spring like around here, it's all the way on the other side, so there was a little bit of slop in the linkage by the time it got to the carburetor. So it's just a little tinkering, and the fuel tank sender wasn't grounded very good, so I put another ground wire on the base there. That should work. And the front wheel cylinders were leaking. I think I mentioned that when I tested it, so I had to put new ones on there. The brakes are working better now, so alright. I got the wipers fixed up here. I was going to get some stainless arms and wipers, but I couldn't find any that would work with this, so the posts on the shafts here, these posts, one of them was broke off, and one of them had, the original one had really fine threads, really weird size, so I ended up cutting them both off, cutting the threads off and welding on some new bolts, and with some good thread on it. And then I shaved them down to have 2 flats on them, like to be like original, and then I used these regular cap nuts. And so the shafts, I had some wipers that one of them worked fine, and this one had a different kind of attachment point here, so I cut off the old one there was nothing left of the wiper, it was all rusted out. But the bracket here was stainless, so it was still good, so I screwed it onto the new wiper here. And that's all ready to go. I painted it silver and it looks good. So now I'm working on the radiator. It's a Honda Civic 3-row with the electric fan. I made this shroud because it like doubles the price when you buy it with the shroud. So I made that. And the only thing I did to the radiator was drill some little holes for pins in these posts as the top. And got the bottom posts there. So they sit in these tabs here on the cross member. I welded those on either side, and I'll put rubber. I got rubber, these rubber pieces, so I'll set it in that and pin it down. And then for the top, I made this bracket. And it'll go over here to anchor the top in there. So the top hose, it's going to come over to the top of the radiator here, and then this is goes to the bottom one off the water pump. It's going to go down in there, so I gotta route it from this side down across and go in that side. And I've been working on the wiring here. This is all the wiring that runs from the engine. Pokes down through there and goes across and up into there. And got the master cylinder all dialed in there. The brake switch. And put some vinyl on the dashboard here, so it's ready to go. And this is the skid plate thing to protect the radiator. I made that, and I got the little flap here for the master cylinder. I made that too. So it's all cleaned up and ready to paint. So that's how it's been going. Alright. Alright, can't remember where I last left you off, but it's all done and on the road now. Got everything together. Windshield, all the glass in and stuff. Got all the wiring figured out. I had a problem with the transmission. It was like working its way out of first gear as I went up hills and stuff, so I had to redo that. Took that out again and got new first gear parts. Also had a little trouble with the overheating, so I'm gonna open up the engine lid here and show you what I did. Alright, so I tried a few different thermostats, like a 195 and a 160, but I ended up going back to 180, and I added this overflow tank here, so that helps a little bit. And I added this fan for it was just a regular car fan, electric fan, so I made little brackets here and put a switch over there, so I just reach back and put it on when it's getting warm. So that helped a lot to get the hot air out of the engine bay there. The other problem I had was the head gasket. It was a cheap, like Omexeta head gasket that comes with that came with the kit. So like the metal part around the cylinders was not formed right, and it was leaking in the middle two cylinders. So I ended up getting a Velcro one, and that fixed it. Alright, so it's been a pretty good Jeep. We've been driving it a lot all this summer. Put about 500 miles on it, and gets about 11 miles a gallon, in case you were wondering. Pretty good. I have a limited slip for it actually, but I don't think I'm going to put it in yet. Also got another windshield. We went to a car show, and the guy waved me down and said, I got a brand new windshield for that thing. Because he was looking around for somebody with a forward control Jeep, but no one ever has one. I was the only first person he saw in a couple of years that had one, so he gave it to me for free. So I don't think I'm going to put it in yet. I'll wait till this one breaks or whatever. But it's brand new. And it's been pretty good. The overheating problem went away from driving it. I think it was just from braking in and stuff. It was running hot, so that's all fixed. And we even drove it back to the farm where we got it from. Showed the guy because he was having a garage sale there. So that was pretty cool. They fixed it all up and everything. So yeah, it's been good. Probably the best part is seeing everyone's reaction to it. Everybody's all looking and waving and stuff. It's a lot of fun. So everybody likes it. Alright. Thanks for watching, guys. See you later.